How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Mojo Grip. Mike here. Today I've got an old birdie for you. Y'all have said that you want to see more entry-level aircraft on Mojo Grip, and today I've got the right one because we're checking out the 1985 Piper Archer II. Stay tuned. This airplane needs no proper introduction. Y'all are familiar with Pipers already. This is the Archer. Not just any Archers, this is the Archer II. Now you have Archer III, and you have probably a ton of other variables of this airframe because Piper has since built several different models with a very similar airframe. But this is one that came out in the 80s. Still similar wings. There's some differences which I'll show you in the interior. Again, Piper is a staple name in GA, okay? And this one here you can buy as or fly as a personal aircraft. You can buy and fly it as a trainer, and you can also fly it as a time building airplane. The history for this particular airplane actually is that it came out from a flight school of all places. So as I said, this is a multi-purpose airplane, and the owner just got it to revamp the entire thing, and I'll show you that interior in a little bit. The power plant we have here is a Lycoming 0360. These are considered bulletproof, and for sure the one in this airplane has been solid because again they flew it past overhaul and now it's been overhauled, which we'll talk about more. You've got a 2-blade fixed pitch prop. This is a fixed landing aircraft, okay, fixed landing gear, which means it's perfect for the beginner pilot. But what's more interesting about this airplane is that you can fly and train everything all the way to CFI. So you can fly this airplane and train as a prop for your private pilot. You can fly it for instrument. This is an instrument rated airplane, and you can also fly for commercial because this is now considered a technically advanced aircraft, which is something the owner wanted to do. He wanted to upgrade the avionics, which he did, and now he's going to use it to get his commercial and also his CFI. As you know, Piper's changed the wings of the Archer, really the Cherokee models, because that's the family that this airplane comes from. They've changed the wings over the years, and this one has been riding solid. These planes generally have some ADs, and this one is already up to speed. You can see the tank here. You've got a 17-gallon tank, 100 low lead, same thing there, 17 gallons. And with this airplane, just expect to burn between 7 and 8 gallons per hour at altitude. Now, your normal burn will probably be closer to 10 gallons of fuel per hour. But let's check out the interior. So you come to this side, okay? First, you got a nice big opening here for your baggage compartment. See there? You know how much load you can put back here? Try 200 pounds. 200 pounds. That's the most I've actually seen in this class of airplane. To give you an example, the plane I used to fly, which is a proper 4-seater, similar payload and useful load as this airplane, we could only put 50 or 100 pounds in the baggage compartment. Here, 200 pounds. And you can also see something that I personally appreciate about Pipers, or the low-wing Pipers, is that you have good enough clearance from the ground, but also it's quite low to the ground, so it makes for easy entry. Guys, I know maybe other videos don't talk about this, but these are the simple details that you as a pilot will look at if you're shopping for airplanes, because guess what? Whether you're in shape or not, if you're flying with passengers or friends or family who would have a hard time getting into your airplane, this is where this much height from the ground comes in. So you do have that with this airplane where it's very low, so you can easily just step here. There is a handle right there, and you grab on the handle and you step in. Speaking of, let me get that door open and we'll check out the interior, which is my favorite part of the airplane because that's where you're going to spend most of your time as the pilot. Here we go. Voila. Can you believe that this airplane is 40 years old? About 40 years old. I know, like, we sleep on older conventional planes, and I've been spoiled to fly newer planes, but you still gotta respect the workmanship in designing these planes. Guys, these are the original seats in this aircraft, and they don't look anywhere near 40 years old. But you've got a tan interior, you've got your cockpit here, which I'll go over, show you some of the goodies and some of the upgrades that the owner has done. Just let me get it for 1 minute. Here we go. So let's talk about this cockpit. Let me zoom out a little bit and get you a proper shot. Here we are. So let's go from left to right. Right from factory, this is how this plane comes. This is a steam gauge aircraft. You've got your airspeed indicator there, attitude indicator. But something new that you see that they've been fitted and upgraded to two G5s. When these are great because they also operate independently. They have a backup battery built in, okay? And you also have a Garmin 430 in this airplane. And generally speaking, for airplanes that are this old, when you're upgrading to make them instrument equipped, this guy comes in, the 430. This is the great predecessor for what you have now in the GTN 375, the GTN 650. Well, this was the first to do it. And so older planes like this will have the 430, and they're a lot more affordable than, say, a GTN 650. But again, you have that coupled with the Garmin G5. So as you see this airplane right now, this is fitted for modern flying because this is all glass. And these equipment is what makes this airplane a TAA, technically advanced, which allows you now to be able to train and fly commercial ratings in it. And speaking of, if you are looking to get your pilot's license, or you want to train to become an airline pilot, a charter pilot, you want to build a career out of this thing we all love, make sure you check out our flight school at lookupflightacademy.com. We can train you from 0 all the way to commercial rating. Again, that's lookupflightacademy.com. We do fly newer planes, so you've got all glass, and also these are simpler airplanes to fly. We also have our AATD flight simulator, which helps you keep everything on track and sharp. All right, make sure you come in for a tour. Again, that's lookupflightacademy.com. You've got your middle console here. This is a fixed pitch propeller aircraft, so just your throttle. You've got your mixture to control your fuel and help you get some a proper fuel burn once you get up in altitude. You've got electronic switches here, and then minimalistic. You've got some of your circuit breakers. Now, let's talk about what really matters, right? Comfort. Now, you can see my legs sitting right on the rudders here. So you do have dual rudders there and there. Now, the seats I'm sitting on are scrolling all the way back, which I should show you. You do have a scroll down here. But if you were flying this airplane, depending on your height and size, I'll turn the camera around so you can see how I'm sitting right now. Here I am, guys, sitting in the Piper Archer 2. Look, I can't, there's too much room. So a taller person will be able to fit in here very nicely. I'm 5'10". The seats are currently pulled back. If I was flying this plane right now, I'd probably need to pull the seat up a little further. For me, sitting properly in an aircraft means a lot. Meaning, if you're inclined and you could barely see the top, I don't like that. As I'm sitting right now, I'm able to see above the dash here, and I'm able to see the front of the aircraft, which I honestly like. Again, these seats, they're quite comfortable, and they're 40 years old, or close to 40 years old. The owner told me that he's actually looking to revamp the entire interior of this aircraft. But I'm like, listen, man, there's not much work to do. You've got a very nice interior, and depending on your mission, I can tell you that this seat is very comfortable. The only thing I will maybe complain about is one door, but of course, in this class of aircraft, come on, this is something you get used to. But outside of that, nice cabin here. I imagine average size man or woman will be able to sit comfortably. The width is a bit narrow, but I don't see you squishing each other out. Other control surfaces to expect in the Archer 2. You see that's your fuel selector down there. Okay. You've got your parking brakes. Oops. Parking brakes there. Guys, I missed this. Look at this right here. I love this. This is your trim. It's mechanical. If you're flying a more modern aircraft, you have electronic, and the reason I love mechanical is it's almost immediate feedback when you use this trim, right? Whereas with an electronic trim, you put in, you get the input in, and there's a bit of a delay. So personally, I like this, and I prefer it to the electronic version, but you do have that in this aircraft. And of course your flaps, and you got standard yokes. This is still what Piper has in all of their aircraft till date. And speaking of, let me show you a bit of that backspace. As I said, right now we're scrolled all the way back. That doesn't mean that this airplane will not carry 4 adults comfortably. So right now, barely any leg room. But if I was flying this plane, this seats would probably come a good bit, like probably right here. So you will have leg room in the back. And as I said, you look all the way back there. Voila. Nice luggage area, 200 pounds. And if you're looking at this, you're not mistaken. What does it look like? Those look like AC vents. Guess what? This airplane actually came with an air condition from the factory. Obviously, it's been long removed, but it used to have an AC. I never knew that about Archers, but you did have one with this aircraft. They've had them removed. But then also, I'm sure the price for this plane was not as much back in the 80s, which once we step out now, I'll tell you some numbers, performance numbers, and how much you're going to spend on this bad boy if you are in the market for one. Here we are back. Let's talk about performance numbers for this plane. Again, we've already said that this is a multi-purpose aircraft. You can have it as a personal plane, a flight school. This will fit right into a flight school, and you can also train or build time in it. Now, when you're flying one of these, your flight plan will budget for about 115 to 120 knots in cruise. If you go up to higher altitudes, you may be able to go faster, and at that, you're burning 6 to 8 gallons of fuel, okay, at 115 knots. And if you were flying at lower altitudes, you may be burning more, probably up to 10 gallons of fuel per hour. In terms of useful load, I mentioned that you have 200 pounds of baggage area back there. The useful load for this plane is almost 1,000 pounds. You're definitely over 900 pounds. And once you fill up the tanks, you have a payload of about 650, 670 pounds. Depending on the equipment that you have in the airplane, you can save you some extra useful load there. Remember I mentioned that the AC unit was removed. Guess how much they saved doing that? 200 pounds of load. Now it's almost, that's like being able to put an extra person in the aircraft. But those are your numbers. Now, how much is this going to break the bank? Well, I actually don't think the Archer can break the bank. With these planes, 85 model in top-notch shape, or with the upgrades, you're looking anywhere from $90,000 to $120,000 used. If you are buying a brand new Archer or some of the newer models from Piper, then you're definitely up in the 300, 400, $500,000. So I think $90,000 to 120 is not that bad for a plane that's, you know, proven its use and proven also time. And again, you have a Lycoming engine that's pretty much bulletproof. Okay, that is my spiel for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about this plane, please put in the comments. I really appreciate you spending time with me. Again, my name is Mike. Guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on if this is your first time. And also give this video a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate the support, guys. If you are looking not just to get into this plane, but if you're actually looking to learn how to fly, make sure you check out my flight school, lookupflightacademy.com. Come in for a tour. We'll take you up, we'll show you around, and hopefully help you get your ticket. Again, that's lookupflightacademy.com. Greatly appreciate it, guys. I'll catch you on the next video.